Hello, everybody. Great to have you here. Thank you very much for your time. I really do mean that, and I appreciate your time. I know you're very busy. Everybody is, and we've got things that we could or should be doing. But for me, you've taken, 15 minutes, maybe 20 out to work on your business. So that puts you, in my eyes, in the top 1% of people. Welcome to Results Mastery Live. It's great to have you here, as I said, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that your next quarter of an hour, shall we say, is very well spent, and you not only learn something, but you learn something that you can actually implement in your business. Now, today's topic is basically all around the idea of improving your business. Now, I've called it, what's the difference between successful businesses and non-successful? Now, I want to be clear, I'm not talking about, the Vodafones and the Apple and those massive businesses, which are just like so big and successful that to a small business, they're just like almost irrelevant. They're not part of our world. I'm talking about, where you're whatever it is you do, you're a hairdresser and things are ticking over, and yet there's a hairdresser 2 miles away who's like hugely successful. Or you're perhaps a coach, you're a business coach. And I heard the other day that most business coaches earn less than earn less than 35 grand a year. Can you believe that? You're a business coach and yet you're not making any money yourself. You're helping people, but you're not being paid for what you're worth, and that's the truth. So no matter what sort of you do, I do believe there's no correlation between what you do and how much you earn. It's all about the level that you perform at. You take sport, for example. I heard somewhere that on average, Tiger Woods, when he was at his best, went round a golf course in 69 shots on average. That was his season average. And apparently there was a guy whose name I can't remember, who averaged 74. And Tiger Woods made more in a day than he did in a year. So it was only like 3 or 4 shots behind him on average. It wasn't a great deal, but he won all the money and the other guy didn't. And it's same in most sports, really. You take Usain Bolt. He wins all those gold medals. What does he get? He gets the Nike contract, millions and millions of pounds, becomes world famous, loved and appreciated everywhere. But tell me, who finished fourth? Or even who finished second? For most people, they don't remember. They just remember the guy who won. And whether that's right or wrong, is I believe it's right, actually. If you're going to put in the effort to get your business to a different level, then you deserve to be more successful. It's not just a matter of, aren't they lucky? No, they're not lucky. They've worked and worked and worked. People used to say, and whether you like Michael Jackson or not, or believe him or didn't, let's just say that Michael Jackson was, hugely successful, probably the biggest pop star in history. And people used to say, isn't he lucky? He's got all that talent. But the truth of the matter is, every day since he was about 3 years old, his father, pushed him and pushed him and pushed him to become the man he eventually was. Not suggesting he was perfect in any stretch of the imagination, but he certainly was a huge star in the world, and probably changed popular music. But anyway, okay, so let's talk about business then. Now, if you're going to be successful in business, and I'm talking about a small business here, then the number one thing that I think you need to think about is you've got to raise your game. It's as simple as that. You want to be more successful, you've got to raise your game. What do I mean? I mean that you've got to take a look at each and every element of what you're doing, particularly the big stuff that would have the big impact on your business. And you've got to work out how you can do it better. If I asked you what is the number one, what is the one thing that if you nailed, if you managed to achieve, you managed to do, what would be the one thing that would have the biggest impact on your business? What would that be? Now, obviously, we got different people on the session today, so different people have different views, different things, and so on and so forth. But for me, I've got to say, and you probably think, oh, well, he would say this, wouldn't he? But I'm saying it because I believe it's true. It would be to become better at selling and marketing your products and services. You know, if you could, you know, if you're going to be more successful, and obviously selling them at a profitable amount, you know, you don't want to be, you know, selling loads of stuff and cutting your costs and losing, you know, cutting your profit and losing money. You know, I'm not suggesting that, but I am suggesting becoming better at sales and marketing. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that if I spoke to 100 small businesses and got to know those 100 small businesses, my belief would be that 50-60% of them, and I'm just making this up, this is not based on any, you know, research that I've done, just, you know, the work that I've done in over 28 years working with thousands of businesses in hundreds of industries. I'd say that 50-60% of them would be struggling to survive, literally as high as that. I'll call it 50%. I'll be kind. 50%. 30-40%. So again, let's call it 30%. Just about, you know, they're paying the bills. They're, you know, doing okay. They're doing reasonably well, but they're not yet anywhere near to their true potential. So what we got there, 80%, probably another 18% are doing quite well. You know, they're making money, they're profitable, they're, you know, they've got a decent amount of money in the bank, things are looking good. You know, they're going on nice holidays, they've got nice cars, nice houses, and so on and so forth. They're doing okay. The remaining 2%, and I actually probably think it's 1%, are the ones making all the money. It's a little bit like in golf, you know, the top few are the ones making money. You know, how many football clubs are there in England? Heaven knows. But the ones that are making all the money are probably about the top 6 or 7 clubs in the Premiership. Although these days they're probably losing most of the money, to be honest, with the cost of wages and things like that. But you get the idea in principle. You know, if you can rise to the top and be one of the best at what you do and how you sell it and so on and so forth, then the chances are you're going to be more successful. I always remember, you know, a friend of mine. In fact, there's a book. I'm pretty sure. I'm just looking now. I can't see it here. It's probably over my shoulder. I got literally loads of cupboards there with all my books on it. And no, I can't actually say it. But it's a great book, and it's called "The Fish Stinks from the Head Down." And basically. I was told about this book by a friend of mine, and he said the fish stinks from the head down. And I said, what's that about? Then is it a fishing book or what? He said, no, it's about running a small business, and it's about ownership, and it's about, you know, if you run a small business, and that could be a one man or one woman business, but if you've got issues, you've got problems, it's your fault, whether you've got 20 people, and, you know, if you've got people problems, you know, you got a sales team that are not delivering, whose fault is it? It's your fault. Even if you've got a sales manager or director, you know, you're not managing them well enough. If you've got HR problems, whose fault is it? It's your fault. If you've got tax problems, your fault. If you've got VAT problems, your fault. If you've got sales problems, if you've got customer service problems, if you've got operational problems that you're not delivering projects on time, if you've got problems with your manufacturing, whatever it is you do, It's your fault. And then the book just, not wishing to be negative towards what you're doing or I'm doing, but if you come at it with that attitude, and not the attitude of, well, it's tough at the moment, oh, there's a worldwide recession on, and so that's why my business is not doing so well. Do you know what that is? Bullshit. It is, quite frankly, just total and utter bullshit. There are people doing really, really well right now. And do you know what the word recession means, by the way? It's a period of time. I think it's 2 quarters of the year. So over half a year, where the amount of stuff that in Great Britain, the amount of stuff that Britain sells has gone down. Right, just think about that from a point of view of your business. It's gone down. So it's gone from whatever it is, X amount of billions and billions of pounds. But how much has it gone down? Has it like halved? Has it gone down 30%? No, it's often gone down like 0.5%. So this country as a whole has had 2 quarters where our GDP has gone down 0.5 or 1%. Does that really mean that your business can't be successful? No. What happens, though, is in the press go on and on and on about it. So people stop spending, and people find it, and people even stop marketing their business. They think, oh, it's really tough at the moment. Let's not do anything. Let's just sit back and hope things get better. And they will eventually, obviously. Because the changes in business are like the changes in seasons. We're in the spring at the moment. Business-wise, we're probably in winter, but soon it's going to be spring, and that's the way it works. So, really, really important message there, I think. So if it's your fault, then you probably need to think about you. Another great book, actually. Let me just pull this one out because I know this one's here. That book, love that book. There we go. Keith J. Cunningham, A Road Less Stupid. And Keith Cunningham talks about mistakes that people make. And he talks about the owner of the business and the skills that we've got. If I asked you to write down what skills do you need as a business owner? Well, you need operational skills. You need to be good at that. You need finance skills. You need to be good at that too. You need marketing skills and sales skills and HR skills, customer service skills. You need people management skills. You need leadership skills. And if I thought about it and kept going, I could probably come up with another load of skills that you need. The question is, how good are yours? And when I speak to so many small businesses, they're not very good at sales and marketing. And I don't wish to be negative about that. It's just a fact. If I asked you, how good are your digital marketing skills right now on a scale of 1 being awful, 5 being average, 10 being absolutely, world class? How good are you at LinkedIn on a scale of 1 to 10? How good are you at Facebook on a scale of 1 to 10? How much do you know about Google paid advertising on a scale of 1 to 10? How good are you at networking? How good is your website optimized as far as SEO or search engine optimization called? Let's have a look at your sales skills. How good are you at getting past the receptionist on the phone? How good are you at presenting? What's your questioning skills like? Are they all written down? Do you have a system for it? How good are you at asking for referrals and winning business from referral? How good are you at defending price when somebody says to you that's too expensive? How good are you at overcoming objections? Objections like, I need to think about it. I'm going to speak to 2 other companies. I need to speak to my partner. I'm gonna, the time's not right. We don't have a budget. How good? What do you say when people say all those sorts of things? How good are you at producing videos like this? People go, oh, I don't like being on video. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant whether you like it or not. If you don't do videos, you're probably not going to ever be as successful as you could be. It's as simple as that. So, maybe, the time's good to do like a little self-audit of you and your skills. Because one of the things that's in this book, and I love this saying, it says, if you want a better business, become a better business owner. How profound is that? I love simple stuff. You want a better business. That's why you're here today, I assume, because you want a better business. So what do you got to do? You got to become a better business owner. You've got to be better at the key skills of running a business, not just the skill that you've got operationally, repairing cars, cutting hair, coaching people. There's a lot of coaches out there, or consultants out there, or accountants out there who are really good at doing what they do, but they're not successful. And they're not successful because they're not good at selling and marketing what they do. If they were, they'd have a lot more sales. I remember years ago, I used to live in Newbury, and there was a small company there called Raycol Electronics. They used to play five-a-side at my local leisure centre. And that company transformed. It got good. It was started in a garage by two people. Two people got together working in one of them's garage, right? That company moved from being called Raycol Electronics to Raycol Vodafone to Vodafone, and became the fourth biggest company in the world. How did they do that? By getting better and better and better, and also getting better people in when the time is right. Surrounding yourself by good people. My dad always taught me, he said, you're only as good as the people who work for you. And that was as true 28 years ago when I started as it is today. So, get the right people around you. That's really it. So, one thing I wanted to say before I finish is, I came up with this concept a couple of years ago called results mastery. And that's yes, it is a program that I sell, and you could talk to me about joining my results mastery program. But what I wanted to say about results mastery is it's more than that. It's a concept. If you look at results, we're always going to get results. We get marketing results, sales results, finance results, tax results, customer service results, and so on and so forth. So we're getting results. Mastery is for me, it's at like that level. If you've got a level down here in your marketing and sales, or your business, even your customer service, called poor, what rewards do we get in life for being poor? I remember when I played table tennis, which I did at international level, there were people when I first started probably far more talented than me, but they didn't put the work in. They didn't put the hours in, and they didn't get the success that I got. I got to a level called not being an expert, not being the absolute best in the world, but I was, at an international level. But in business, if you're poor at something, you're poor at your marketing, you get pain. You don't get poor rewards, you get pain. 8 out of 10 businesses that start this year go bust within 5 years. That's called pain. If you go to a level here, which is like average, you're decent, you're good, most businesses' results are pretty poor. They do a bit of marketing, they spend a bit of money, they spend a bit of time, post occasionally on social media. They got a website that's half decent and so on. So they get poor rewards for that. If you take another step up a level called excellent, when you're in that top, 10-15%, you got excellent rewards. And that's great. You're doing well, business is growing. But I believe the next step from excellent to mastery is where you want to be trying to go. Not an expert signifies you know everything, and nobody knows everything. And in marketing, it's almost impossible, because by this afternoon something else could have easily emerged. For I don't know, 6 weeks ago I'd never heard of Chat GPT, and that says it all, really. And now it's revolutionizing the world of marketing. So we've got to make sure that we're up to date and we're at that level called mastery. If you want any help getting there, if you want to and you're committed to growing, then just book a meeting, as it says on the thing scrolling down below me. I promise no hard sell. I promise to work on your business, to talk to you about what you're getting now, the results that you're getting now, talk to you about mastery and what you want to try to achieve. And we'll see where we go from there. So if you'd like to do that, as it says, just go to my website, steve-mills.com, and get yourself booked into a meeting, and we'll talk from there. There's like a button on there, a gold button. Click that. That'll give you access to my online diary, and you can book yourself a meeting. So that's it. Thanks very much for listening. Don't forget, I do this every day, Monday to Friday. So look out for next week's Results Mastery Live. Thanks very much for listening.